I made a video of my top 15 fighters of all time, and I put Demetrious Johnson at 7, and everyone kind of like, I don't know, all the comments were about me putting him at 7, about how that's way too low, and how he's top 5 or top 3, or like even the GOAT, which is kind of crazy. So, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I was kind of generous putting him up that high, but in this video, I'm gonna talk about why he's not a top 5 fighter of all time and why he's so overrated. This isn't like a reason why he's not top 5, but he wasn't a draw at all. He brought in no pay-per-views to, like, one thing that kind of annoyed me about him was that he was talking about how he wants like $1 million payday for like one of his fights, which is kind of insane when he's bringing in numbers like this. Like, the average UFC fight sells like 700,000 pay-per-views at least, and he's bringing in 115,000, and he wants $1 million. People like Volkanovski, who I forgot how much Volkanovski sold, but like Volkanovski sold like a good amount of like he's selling like 600, 700,000 pay-per-views. He's not even getting paid $1 million. I think he got paid 750,000 against Topuria. Islam isn't getting paid $1 million. Izzy's barely getting paid $1 million. Like, he wants $1 million payday when none of these fighters are already getting paid $1 million, and his numbers way worse than them. Like, bringing in 100. His highest selling fight was 205,000 pay-per-view sales, which is why I feel like the UFC made a good choice trading him for Ben Askren, because I feel like that Ben Askren knockout was like the fastest knockout of all time. Him getting knocked out made a bigger star, like made Jorge Masvidal a massive star, and I think Jorge Masvidal went and sold like 1.5 million pay-per-views in his fight with like Kamaru Usman like 2 fights later, I think. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way because he's not like a draw at all. Like, none of the people who say that he's so good, I doubt any of you guys were watching him in his prime in the UFC. But the biggest reason that he's like really overrated is that he fought in the worst UFC division. I feel like everyone can kind of agree that flyweight is the worst division. It's really not good at all. The fighters, like, look at like the top 15. Just none of the top 15 is good other than like the top 3. Like, look at the champion right now, Pantoja. He's fighting a guy that's ranked number 10. Could you imagine if Islam fought a guy like Jalen Turner and like defended his title against someone like that? Or if like Alex Pereira fought Johnny Walker? Like, that'd be insane. Like, Johnny Walker's probably ranked higher than that, but like, this kind of goes in with my next reason, which he defended against bums. Most of the guys at flyweight are bums. Like, even the top 15, they're like not good. I don't know, I just don't like flyweight. They're just kind of boring. They're not that good. Like, don't act like you guys know who any of these title defenses are, because most of these guys would just fight. Like, they'd get like 2 wins, fight Demetrious Johnson, and then like they'd get cut from the UFC. Half of these people got cut from the UFC. Like none of these names on his record are known other than like Henry Cejudo or Joseph Benavidez. But yeah, he just like fought a lot of bums. Like, Islam could easily rack up 10 defenses if he was fighting guys like that. Like, this is basically the equivalent of Islam fighting a guy like Paddy Pimblett, or if Prime Volkanovski like defended his title against Bryce Mitchell. Like, it's really not that hard to just keep farming up wins and title defenses when you're fighting just the worst guys. I know it's like flyweight, like those are like probably the best guys in there, but there's a reason he never went up to like, I know he's small, but like still, it was just fighting complete bums at flyweight. None of the competition's good. Yeah, I don't know. And like, the next reason is that he really doesn't have a good highlight reel KO, or just like any highlight reel moments. It's kind of like Leon Edwards, where they only have one good clip for their highlight reel. Like, Leon has that Usman knockout, and Demetrious Johnson has this one submission, the armbar. But other than like, they just don't have like, he just doesn't have any good memorable moments that I could like think of. And if he did have like a good knockout, it'd be against a bum, like just some random guy he defended his title against. But I can't think of. Well, actually, I mean, he did knock out Henry Cejudo, but still, he just doesn't really have that good of a highlight reel, and it's just kind of like boring. And the other reason is that there's just so many other fighters that are above him, like John Jones, who, if we're like only look at title defenses, John Jones already had 5 more title wins than he did at 16. And not only that, John Jones won a belt in 2 different divisions, unlike Demetrious Johnson. And the competition he faced was 10 times better. He was beating guys like Daniel Cormier, Glover Teixeira, Alexander Gustafsson, just a bunch of good like fighters. He won in 2 different divisions, youngest champion of all time, never lost a fight, unlike Demetrious Johnson, who got knocked out before. He's lost 3 fights, lost to some randoms early in his career too. But yeah, even guys like Volkanovski are better than him. I know Volkanovski's like on a 2-fight losing streak, but like Volkanovski's defenses, his like I think it was like 5 defenses. I think his 5 defenses are worth more than 11 defenses at flyweight. DC's better than him. He won a belt in 2 weight classes. And DC also was small for the weight division he was in. He was like 5'9", fighting at heavyweight. Even Khabib's better than him, I feel like, because Khabib had 3 defenses in the best division in the UFC, lightweight. Lightweight is easily like the most stacked division there is. And I think now you could probably make a case for Max Holloway being above him, because he did have 4 title wins. You could say he almost beat Volkanovski, but he just fought way better names. Like, he fought the best competition there is. He's beaten just the best fighters, unlike Demetrious Johnson. So let me know what you guys think.